tasty, very nice.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. Today, I've got a really cool episode. I have a bike that's new to me. It is a 2015 Yamaha FJ-09. A day or so ago, I just had a gorgeous fall day here in Pennsylvania, and the foliage was just in full color. I just had a tremendously nice day out riding, and believe it or not, as much as I do with motorcycles, I rarely get to spend a day out riding, so it's just a real treat to do that. This was my partner for the day. This was the bike that I took out and put a couple hundred miles on it. It was really nice for me to be able to get out and enjoy my favorite season of riding, and that's fall riding on some of my favorite, Pennsylvania back roads, and some of them were in the mountains, some of them through farm fields. And just to spend a day on a bike that's as nice as the FJ-09, a bike that's just such a good all-around machine, such a good used bike value. And so, it's just kind of a combo of a ride review and a fall ride video all in one. So I hope you guys enjoy this.
All right, what a beautiful fall day here in Pennsylvania. Just looking around the gorgeous scenery. The leaves are turning. I'm on a 2015 Yamaha FJ-09, and this bike is new to me. I just picked it up, and I am out for a ride. So I just thought I'd share some of this beautiful fall foliage with you, and I'm just going to enjoy riding the FJ. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Just gorgeous out. This FJ has an Akrapovic pipe on it, and so it's not obnoxiously loud, but it does have some nice tone when you get on it. I'm just going to be trolling down through the countryside here, enjoying these gorgeous roads. Already today I've put about 120 miles on this FJ-09, and it's just a comfortable, easy riding place to be. And the beauty of a bike like this is it can just tool down through while doing the speed limit or below, and it's eminently comfortable. But when you want to wick it up, when you want to ride it more aggressively, it's certainly obliging. With this eager motor and the lightweight, the FJ-09 is easily capable of lofting the front wheel at will, and it's quite fun actually. These are some nice Pennsylvania back roads. That motor is so eager. It's super fun. Very tasty, very nice. This FJ came with the full luggage on it, so it's got the top case, it's also got the side cases, and just a really nice package here. Pennsylvania is so beautiful this time of year, and the leaves this year are especially vibrant. We had a very dry summer, but we had rain just in time, and it's just really, really nice now. Colors are breathtaking. Since I'm not the original owner on this bike, I don't know exactly what modifications have been done to it. I do know it's got a full Akrapovic pipe. I don't know if it's been remapped for the pipe or any other kind of tuning has been done. The front end on this one actually seems fairly well controlled, so I don't know if there's been some upgrades to the springs, and you know, since it functions as well as it does, I'm really not going to bother going in and checking things out in there. Functions very nicely. The handling is light, it's easy. I like the tires that are on this bike. They are confidence inspiring and fairly new, and so it just makes for a great ride. The FJ-09 has multi-mode power settings. You can go on A mode, which is like beast mode, and I usually just leave it in the standard mode. It's a little bit easier to control and modulate the throttle, and if you get into a low traction situation, it's definitely a good idea to put it in B mode. But overall, the FJ-09 is really an easy bike to ride. It's not super intimidating, but I wouldn't say it's a beginner's bike. That motor just has too much power, and the bike is too lightweight for it to be a good beginner bike. More of an experienced rider's machine. Brakes on this bike are nice. They have the big dual disc brakes up front, sport bike brakes, and so it stops nicely if you need it to. It also has anti-lock brakes, which is a super nice safety feature. It does have traction control, and I've noticed a couple times when I've lifted the front wheel or it's threatened to do that, I can feel the traction control kind of kicking in a little bit. But again, that's a safety feature. I think you can turn the traction control off, but I really have no need to. I mean, maybe at a track, but that's skill levels above my own. The FJ-09 is fine out on the highway. The motor is relaxed. It's geared nicely for highway work. I would say the only kind of downside is the stock windscreen is relatively small, And this one has a tinted screen on it, but this is more of a summer screen that's on it right now. I do have larger windscreens that came with this bike that I may try to put on and just give me more wind protection, especially in this cooler weather. It's warm enough right now, but this morning when I left the house, it was in the 30s and it was cold. And then out on the highway, this windshield, I'm tall enough that it doesn't give me that much protection. The transmission on the FJ-09 is a very slick shifting 6-speed unit. I haven't missed any shifts on it. It's just been a pleasure to deal with. One area that could be improved, this stock Yamaha seat is on the thin side as far as padding goes. It's not super comfortable for long periods of time. The last FJ-09 I had a Corbin seat, and I do miss that. But Sargent makes a seat, Corbin makes a seat. You can get them for this bike pretty readily. And this bike, average fuel mileage right now is 45 miles to the gallon, and that's even with me being bad every now and then. So it gets it's relatively efficient. I'm sure if I were commuting, I could probably get close to 50 miles to the gallon with it. But it'd be a little bit hard just because it's so entertaining to ride. Side-to-side transitions are nice. It picks up out of the corners nicely as well. Again, that lightweight is something that you just notice at every turn here. Suspension is plush, but you know, firm enough to be well controlled. And I'm not sure, I haven't even checked the settings on this bike yet. As I say, it's a new purchase, but I haven't checked the settings to see exactly where they are, but I like the setup. It's a good compromise between ride control and plushness. I've ridden some other ones that were set up and really felt soft front and back, and almost gave it a big dirt bike feel. This one does not feel like that. It feels more well controlled, which I appreciate. And again, I don't know if there has been some, you know, suspension modifications done to it, or it's in the settings that it's currently on, but it does feel nice. Yeah, the sound from that motor is intoxicating, and there's just a certain point at which, as you're turning the throttle, it goes from mild to wild. And you'll get to a certain place, and then all of a sudden you can hear that exhaust just bark. And you can tell, you know you're really in the throttle as soon as you hear that sound, and the acceleration when it does that is awesome. And on my recent review of my friend's FJ-09, his modified FJ-09, I just made kind of the point that the FJ-09 is really just another example of Japan doing what they do really, really well, and that's they make a refined, well put together, well sorted motorcycle, and the price of entry on one of these things, especially, you know, in the case of used bikes, it's really attractive. And so they represent a really good value for the money. And you know, they may not have some of the absolute latest and greatest tech features of, you know, your top European brands, but they're also going to be a lot less cost of ownership over the time that you own it, less cost of maintenance, and when they do break or something goes wrong or you need to get it serviced, it's going to be a heck of a lot cheaper than again, a lot of your European brand machines. And the functionality, it's going to be so close that really, unless you're more of an advanced rider, this thing is just more than capable for most riders. And there are very few bikes out there that just offer this level of refinement and sophistication and entertainment and practicality all in one spot. Oh man, it's just gorgeous with the foliage. So, good job, Yamaha, and what a nice machine.
All right, that was a lot of fun. Good memories, a great day out riding, and just a fantastic machine. The Yamaha FJ-09 just represents the traditional Japanese values. It's just a very competent motorcycle, a very capable and reliable motorcycle, and it's delivered at a reasonable price. This engine is just one of the best motors that has come out of Japan, and really anywhere. It's entertaining, it's lively, it's punchy. Definitely you don't feel like you're riding a bike that's actually less than 900 cc's. The FJ-09 is comfortable. It's got all sorts of performance on tap. It's got safety features on it with the ABS and the traction control. If you only have one bike in the garage, man, this is a contender. This thing is super nice. It just does any type of riding you want to do. It will do it well. So I hope you found this video entertaining and informative. And until next time, enjoy the ride.